Well, my name is Patrick Cook. Welcome back to session 132 of our Mandelbulb 3D Tutorial Series. Now, what I want to do in this session is get you educated on how to set up for network rendering. Now, as I was describing in the previous session, we can actually set up more than one PC that can each be running the Mandelbulb 3D software, specifically the animation window, and each of these Mandelbulb 3D applications can render to a common location. Now, I will add that there's a couple ways you can do this. You can set up, let's go with black here. Let's go with green. Now, you could set up one of these PCs, doesn't matter which one, where you have a folder that has been shared. All right. Now, and I'm going to show you how to do that. It doesn't matter which PC you have the shared folder, as long as the folder has permissions where other PCs can get to that folder in full control, that is read and write, anywhere within your network. So you could actually set up your Mandelbulb 3D to be animating into this shared folder, all right, on the same PC. And then you have your other PCs which are also accessing that same shared folder, okay? You could do it that way. You can also do it with what's called a NAS, a Network Access Station, where you have a folder which has been configured to be available to other PCs within your network. The NAS solution is pretty good. Obviously, there's a cost in setting up the NAS. The inexpensive way to do this would be to take one of your PCs and share a folder so that other PCs can read and write to that shared folder. All right. Now here's how to do it. Now obviously we're in a Windows environment. Okay. So everything I'm showing you is obviously Windows. So let's take our. Now we have here the Mandelbulb 3D Tutorial folder, which I made quite a long time ago in this series, and we've been keeping all of our various work recovery files in this location. Now, okay, there's two things that you need to address. Now, first of all, you have to have this Mandelbulb animation window be able to get to the animation file, which is what, an M3A. All right? And you also need to have this, each of your Mandelbulb 3D animation windows be able to write to the output. All right, so this is going to be our output. Okay. So what I like to do is separate the Mandelbulb animation file from the image segments. So we already have a folder here for image segments. Now what I'm going to do, this is what I like to do. You can do whatever you want. All right. I like to make a folder called resources, or you could say Mandelbulb files or MB3D files, whatever you want. All right. You'll see why this makes sense as we go along. Now I need to find the very last M3A or animation that we had worked on and had finally accepted. So let me sort by date. So there we go. session 130 after changes M3A. I'm going to copy that over to resources, and you'll see why as we go along. Okay, now I need to share this folder. So what I'm going to do, I want to be able to share both the image segments because that's what the other PCs are going to write into. I also need to have this resources folder shared because that's going to be the animation file that will need to be opened and processed. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this entire top folder. So I'm in a Windows environment, obviously. This is Windows 10. So I'm going to go to Properties. Let me get that in the middle for you. I'm going to go over to Sharing. Now I want to share, and I want to share it with everyone. All right. And I share it with everyone because I'm going to have at least 2 other PCs that are going to be processing our animation. And I don't want to force those PCs to be logging in every time I go to use them. So I'm just going to open it up to everyone. And I'm going to share it. So there is the share address. I'm going to go one step further though. I'm not quite done with the sharing. I'm going to done that. Now I'm going to go to advanced sharing. This is Windows 10 now. I'm going to share this folder, and I'm going to go ahead and keep it at the same name. I don't have to. You know, I mean, I could say Pat's shared folder for Mandelbulb. I could do whatever I want. I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, permissions. This is key. Right here. You could put a little note in here. All right, whatever you're calling this animation, Pat's animation shared folder for network rendering, whatever you want. Permissions. Now, right now it's read only, but because we're going to be writing, our subframes into this folder, it does need to be full control. I need read and write. All right. Now the change is just modify. Read is obviously just read it. I need full control. I need to read and write. So I'm going to say full control and apply that. Okay, that. Okay, that. Okay, that. All right. So now you can't see it right now, but on my other PC, I will have access to the MB3D space tutorial folder and all of the subfolders on this particular PC. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to that PC. I'm going to open up the Mandelbulb 3D software. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and I'll leave right there. I'm just going to go ahead and close everything. All right, let's pretend I'm over on the other PC. All right, so I'm going to open up the Mandelbulb 3D software. Give it time to initialize. All right, and I'm going to open up the animation. I do not care about the project. All right, I don't care about the project file because the animation is an entirely different thing. Now I need to go find that, I'm going to open it, and I need to find that, the animation file, and I know that I put a copy of it in resources. I'm going to open this up. Now I'm opening this up pretending I'm on another PC, accessing a shared folder on a different PC, and I'm opening up this. Okay, so I have my animation file open. Now I need to double check here that the overwrite is not checked, because if I left that checked, what'll happen is, let's see if I can show you. Okay. Let's clean that up a little bit. All right, so if I left that checked, what would happen is this one would start working on subframe number 1. This guy comes along and says, okay, I need to work on number 2. This guy says number 3. And this guy comes along and says, well, okay, I'm going to work on number 4. And we're okay until one of these gets a little confused and says, look, I need to work on number 4. Almost kind of a race situation where the two PCs get there pretty much at the same time, and one PC is in the process of claiming subframe number 4, for instance, and the other one doesn't recognize that. And so now you have one PC that overwrites another PC's subframe. You don't want that. You want overwrite existing images to be off. All right, we're over time on this session. Let's pick this up in the next session, and we'll continue on. I'll show you what we need to do here, okay? All right, I'll see you there.